Right, here we are. A couple of days ago, well, a couple of weeks ago, I got this Kyosho Airstreak from eBay. And it was just a random thing, just cropped up on eBay, and I thought, well, might take a risk and see what it's like. It was actually alright. I've got it going in a video, we fired it up, it needs some work. So let's see what that's going to entail, because those of you that saw that video will know what this is going to entail. There's a few issues with it, but we'll go through those. Ever since that video, that I've only just put that video on the computer and stitched all the bits together to make a video. So I'll upload that soon, and when I can speak, by the time you see this video, that video will be live. So let's see if we can get this going properly. I have noticed that there is a crack there on the lid. There's a few issues with it, but I wouldn't say that it's a problem. There are no cracks in the hull, which is a good thing. The thing is, and I wasn't, and I'm still not bothered about it at this point, because this boat was in somebody's shed for God knows how many years. The seller on eBay didn't know how many years, it'd just been in a shed for a long time. It was their father's. And I'm assuming their father is now dead, because the way they said the listing was that he's no longer here to ask the condition of it. So I'm assuming he's either not very well or he's dead. But anyway, regardless. It's leaking. It's leaking out the exhaust. Anyway, oh yeah, I've got a stand for it now. I found that the other day. And it fits the hull perfectly. Anyway, there is a lot of old nitro inside this hull. Now, with these old ones, well, this isn't particularly old. I wouldn't call this one old. I mean, it's from around about 2012-ish. Don't really know the age of this specific one, but this model was, I believe, released around 2012 up until around 2019. I could be wrong with that. If I am, please comment and tell me. So this could be from 2012. The nitro will attack the plastic ever so slightly. I think on the newer versions, like this one, this is a newer version of this one. This is an early version, this is a later version, a new version. They changed the type of plastic. But regardless, the nitro will attack the plastic over time and make it fragile. But I haven't cleaned it out, and in that video when I was getting this going, I was getting nitro everywhere. The reason for that is, when I got it, we unboxed it, and the hull was full of old nitro and oil and all sorts. So a few more days of nitro being in there ain't going to make much of a difference to whether it's any good or not any good. You know, it's survived so many years like this. Leaving it in there for a few more days, adding a bit, ain't really going to matter. So what we're going to do, oh, and by the way, the nitro tank is upside down. As I say, the video isn't live yet to you lot, but when it is live, this is me now predicting the future. I'm gonna say within the first week of that video being live, 5 people are gonna comment to tell me that the nitro tank is upside down. I'm calling it now. I'm predicting the future. We'll find out when, well, it's going to have to be when this video goes live, I suppose, for you to see that, but we'll see. within the first week of the Will It Run video of this going live, 5 people were going to comment to tell me the nitro tank is upside down, because it is. This is the pressure pipe, and it needs to be on the top because it adds pressure from the exhaust to pressurize the tank. If it's on the bottom, the nitro is going to want to go through that pipe and go into the exhaust, which is what was happening. I didn't actually spot that at the time. I think I was just so tired. Excuses, I know, but you know what it's like. Everything's a blur. It wasn't until I come back out here later on that evening, and I walked past this, and I thought, oh, let's go have a look at this again. On my own, you know, it's different when you're here. When I'm on my own, I can just sort of plod around. And I looked at the tank, and I said to myself, Orinoco, you cock. That's upside down. And then when I had a proper look at the other one, I was having a look at this one, and this is a new one, brand spanking new, never been ran, never been touched, come in the box from Japan, and the tank is the right way round. So I had a look at this one and said, oh yeah, it's definitely round, it's definitely upside down. Yeah, so I didn't spot that at the time. I was too busy dreaming of bacon sandwiches, probably. I don't know. Anyway, so let's stop talking. I'm going to put you over here, and come over here. We'll go over there, and then we'll just take everything out. It's very simple with a boat. There's not a lot to do, you know. Not like a car when you got all the bits and bobs and diffs and all sorts. Boats, very simple. We'll have the engine out, we'll have the tank out, we'll have the servos out, we'll leave the prop in, that don't matter, and then I'm going to go and give it a bath. Only trouble is, I don't know if it's okay for it to get wet. Can you comment, let me know, is it okay for boats to get wet? Am I going to be alright putting it in the bath indoors and giving it a scrub? I don't want to get it wet and find out that it might damage it in some way. So if you could just let me know if a boat can get wet, I'd appreciate that. Thanks very much. I'll put you over here now. Ah, here we go. Here we go again. This is a familiar sight, isn't it, eh? You sitting on there on that bench, watching some... Well, what you're watching? Some rubbish go down is what you're watching. Right, so we're going to need Allion keys. We'll undo the engine. We'll undo the engine from the top mounts up here, because these ones are going to be difficult to get hold of. So if I can just get the engine out, I'll have more room to work, and then I may take the actual mounts themselves out, or I may not. I might leave them in. Depends if they're going to be in the way. Oh, I've just realised the the exhaust is in the way of those mounts. So that's a bit of an issue there, John. John! Where is... who is John? Does anybody know who John actually is? I'd love to know. I've just turned it round and I need it to be the other way. What a cock. What an absolute cock you are. Yeah, I'd love to meet him one day, old John. I mean, a lot of people go on about him. John's a good old bloke, John's a good man, you know. But then Manuel's the same. A lot of people say all the time, oh, Manuel is a good bloke, isn't he, Manuel? And I'm saying, like, who is Manuel? Like, who is he? They do drop by now and again. I mean, he was in charge of producing a lot of my videos, Manuel and John. John was in them as well, but they were producing them for a while. But I had to get rid of them because they kept forgetting to plug wires in and stuff, you know. And yeah, it got a bit of a nuisance in the end, so binned them off. Right, oh, there's a lot of nitro in there. Look at that. Ooh, a lot of nitro in there, John. John! Who is John? I don't even know who he is. I just don't know. I just don't know who I'm talking about. So what we'll do, undo these screws here. Now this early version's got like a plastic thing around it. I don't know what that's all about. The newer version hasn't got that, so it could be something to do with the gay, or I don't know. We'll have to find out. We could just ask. But given that Kyosho is from Japan, I think that's highly unlikely. But you never know. In this world, you never ever know. Oh, I need a pair of pliers, really, don't I? John? Pliers, please. Right. Oh, what are you doing? Honestly. Ah, there we go. These ones should do the trick. Nice pair of yellow pliers. These should do the trick. Lovely. Oh, yes. Look at that. Couldn't ask for any better. Our next door neighbour's showing his pride. You know, it's got a modern thing these days, isn't it? For gays, you put multicoloured lights up all over the place. He's put them everywhere. Obviously, perhaps he's turned gay or something. I don't know. One of the other neighbours said to us, "What the hell's going on?" I said, "I don't know." He's obviously gay. But it's crazy, really, what goes on in people's minds sometimes. You just don't know, do you? Proper mad. Right, so that's that. We have got a bit of a crack in this hole, but it's only where the nitro tank is. I'll show you in a bit more detail in a moment. Let's take that off of there. Somebody's snapped off the screw in the servo, so that's not going to be good. I wasn't going to replace the servos, but I might have to replace that one. But I might be able to get a pair of mole grips or something on there, or drill it out or do something. We won't know until a bit later on in time. The engine was actually stuck in with all the oil. It was actually stuck. Right, that pipe wouldn't have been any good because that one's split. Can you see anything? I'll zoom you in if it helps you. You know, it might help you, it might not. That pipe there split. Look, so that wouldn't have been any good. We'd have gone on the pond. The water would have come up that pipe, and then it would have just sprayed all over the engine everywhere. It would have caught it, don't get me wrong, but it wouldn't have been a lot of cop, would it? So there's our little engine. We need to do a little bit of work to the pull start to try and get that to be a bit, because it was a bit sticky last time. You heat it up, it was alright. This is a GS engine, which indicates again that it is an early one. So this is an early model, and also the carburetor tells you that to some degree as well. So you can see how much nitro is actually inside this hull. A lot, because I would imagine what happened was it probably, well, I don't know, maybe the old bloke who owned it before, he was just a messy bloke. Perhaps he was just a bit scatty and a bit messy. You never know, do you? Some people are like that. They just get mess everywhere. You just don't know. So what we'll do, we'll take the servos out, because that way I can just go and dunk the whole thing. You know, the missus ain't gonna care. She don't care what the bloody. I do all the cleaning indoors, you see. She makes the mess. I do all the cleaning, so I can go and put this in the bath. It won't fit in the sink, and I haven't got any tubs or anything big enough to put this in. So what I'm going to do is I'm literally, before I do that though, I think I might spray it with a bit of light sensitive degreaser. Not light sensitive, but not light as in light sensitive, but light as in a light degreaser, you know, and not a harsh one, because some degreasers can damage plastic and all that kind of stuff, and I don't want to damage this hull any more than I have to. You can buy replacement hulls, by the way. They're around about £60 or £70. You can still buy them. The hulls for these, you can still buy them. About 70 quid. So if needs be, if the engine's good and them servos are good and all the props good and everything's good still, I could just buy a new hull. And yeah, away we go. I don't know if it comes with the lid though. But when I was looking for all the other parts for this, because I was just doing a bit of research the other day, and I was like just sort of preparing myself in case I need to get some parts, you know how it goes. And yeah, I come across a whole hull as a replacement part. And I thought, well, that's handy to know, because if this one has got any cracks in it or holes, which are major, I mean, I can repair them. I've got fiberglass resin and all sorts, which I use on real boats. But there's no reason why I couldn't use it on this. Right, there's the other two servo screws. So we've got quite a lot of oil and all sorts in there. Really, I should get this engine mount out, because there's quite a lot underneath this plastic guard, which I don't really know why it's there, to be fair. But probably could get that out as well. That's the throttle. What's it? We'll leave the rudder in there. There's no need to get rid of that. There's no need to take the prop out. The prop's fine. I could take the prop out, but I don't see a need for that. We might have to renew this piping. We'll leave that one there for now. Probably going to have to get some bendy Allen keys, because my normal ones aren't going to reach. But we'll see. Right, we'll be back in a minute. Oh, there's that crack, by the way. That's just where the nitro tank goes. Bit of a crack there. Can you see that? See that? It's just where the nitro tank goes on there. But it's not anything to do with being watertight, because it's up. See, it's up. It's not on the bottom of the hull. So I can't see that being any kind of an issue. But once I've cleaned this up, we'll have a better idea. I mean, it looks alright to me. I don't know why they've blocked that off, because on the other one, that's obviously that's open, because it serves a purpose. But I'm assuming it was letting water in or doing something, because they blocked it off completely. They've also done a bit of repair work around the prop, so I'm thinking maybe at one point it was knocked and it might have leaked. But yeah, let's see if I can get another turn rudder thing for this side, because this is only for left turns, for doing anti-clockwise racing, because when I'm assuming most races are anti-clockwise, so they have one on this side. If you put another one this side, it makes turning both ways easier. My old boats never had one at all. They just had nothing there. It was just a prop and a rudder. But these ones, because it's a racing boat, I suppose. Right, back in a minute. Bit of degreaser. What have I got? Oh, I wonder if that might be a bit harsh. Engine degreaser. It may be a bit harsh. You know what I mean? It's a little bit harsh. Is the engine degreaser. But I tell you what we could do, put some on it anyway. What's the worst that can happen? Engine degreaser, look. We're putting a bit of it on anyway. We're going for it. You're all going to be screaming at the screen. The hole's had it, it's going to rot away. That's not going to be any good, it's all going to rot now. It's going to fall apart. There you go, that's falling apart now. Oh, that's it. More cracks. Hello, Len. Yes.
Help.
You need help?
Yeah.
Why do you need help?
I need help of building the toilet.
Help building a toilet?
Yeah.
Why are you building a toilet?
Because you kid, you are adult, you are baby, you are kid, haven't got toilet.
What, you building it out of cardboard boxes?
Yeah.
A toilet out of cardboard boxes?
Mm-hmm.
Would you believe it? He's building a toilet out of cardboard boxes and he needs my help.
Dada.
Minion number 2, I will help you. I'm going to come and give this boat a bath.
Dada,
Be back in a minute, you lot. Alright, so let's see what we got going on. Made myself another coffee while I was gone because somebody put engine degreaser in this one. I don't know how that happened. No idea. Anyway, so what we got going on? Went to the bath. Did try to fit it in the sink, wouldn't fit. So I gave it a scrub. I've come across a couple of problems. And I've just spent a good 20 minutes trying to find, because I did have some, I'll tell you what I could do. I haven't got a compressor in here. Let's have a look. Give it a bit of a... I'm going to give it a blow off with the air in a minute just to get rid of all that residue water so it's a bit nicer to work with. Anyway, I've just spent a good 20 minutes trying to find the degreaser. I've been trying to find I've got some fiberglass seal repair for proper boats. I've got resin and all sorts of things. Only trouble is I don't buy a lot of it, and the last time I used it was to do a repair on my camper van, and it turns out that it's gone rock solid in the tubes, so I haven't got it. But I did come across some issues. We've got some cracks in the bottom of the hull, so I'm going to repair them. I'll tell you what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to buy more fiberglass repair or plastic repair or anything like that. I'm going to try something else, but that'll be for another day, because today is today. I'm going to pump up the old air compressor, blow the water off with a bit of compressed air, put it all back together and see if the engine's going to run for any longer with the tank ran the right way. Let's turn our attention to the good old engine. Now we're going to use a load of this kitchen paper that came with this boat. When I got it, it was all wrapped in kitchen paper. The whole tube, the whole roll of kitchen paper. Now I'm going to move my coffee out of the way this time. And we'll get the old engine degreaser out again. And we're going to give this, because it's very sticky at the moment. Everything's sticky. Sticky, sticky, sticky. And it won't be after this. Give it a good old degrease. Now, the issues that I've found with that hull aren't really big problems. This isn't a real boat. It weighs about as much as half a feather. You know, it ain't it ain't going to be a massive issue. It will take on water, but it ain't going to be a massive issue. I've ran boats with bigger holes in it. I'll show you the holes in a minute. The dirt was covering them up. The cracks, I mean. But yeah, I've ran a lot worse, and it's been fine because it's only going to go around a couple of times. And that's loose. The carburetor's broken off there. There should be another support that's broken off. I'll show you that in a moment. This engine appears to be good, other than the carburetor. We're still going to put it all back in, and we're going to try and get it to run well. So if you're hanging around for that, please do keep hanging around, because it is... We know we got it to run last time. It just didn't run very long, and that's because of the tank being upside down. I kind of suspected it at the time, but I was just like, oh, you know what it's like. Let's give this a proper scrub-a-dub-dub. I think they should make these with clutches in. They'll be a lot more amicable. Because they do make boats, nitro boats, with clutches. I don't know what models they are, but I have seen some with clutches. So you can actually have them sitting on the water ticking over. And then obviously when you rev it up, the clutch engages, which then starts spinning the prop, and away you go, just like on a car. Yeah, they do make them. I have seen them. But because these are racing boats, so you know they're not designed for that. They're designed, you start them up, you chuck them in the water, and you go full throttle. That's it until the end of the race. That's the way the cookie crumbles. You know what I mean? So So they're not designed for that. That gasket's definitely seen better days. I've probably got a gasket somewhere that I could put on here. But the thing is, we're going to have to take this engine out again. I might just stick a gasket on anyway if I've got one. What the world is that? Ah, there they are. I knew there was somewhere. Now I've got a couple of different gaskets here. So I might have an exhaust gasket. That'll fit Johnny Boy. No, I don't want it to fit Johnny Boy. I want it to fit this engine. So we'll have a look and see. Anyway, this is a lot cleaner than it was now. It's not sticky anymore. So we'll get that off. That's a bit of old pipe on there, look. The old cooling pipe. Pop, drop, drop. Off it goes. Yeah, if this runs and it gets hot, it's going to be a bit smoky on the outside because of all the engine degreaser and oil on it. At least the pull start's going in and out okay now. It's got loads of compression, this engine. Pull start just doesn't go all the way in. But no, I can't see that being a big problem. We can remedy that. We might be able to remedy that quickly and easily. If I can just get these pliers to push the knot up. Oh, it's not going to work. A lot of the time you can push the knot up and out, pull the handle down to where you need it, tie a new knot, and there you go, you've got a nice tight pull start again. Probably it's just a bit weak. The spring's probably a bit weak in there. Perhaps it's got a lot of water in it over the years. Maybe in the future I'll take the pull start off and have a little play around with it and try and get it to work. But I think what we're going to do, put that back there. Let's get the boat over again. There's a little bit of water left in it. I can't get it out. That's the only trouble with these boats. Once you get water in them, it's difficult to get it out again. It all kind of stays in there. You tip it around and things, it kind of gets stuck in all of these. A few times, if you sink them, once you pull them out again after you've sunk them, you spend ages trying to get the water out. There's probably a trick or a technique or something that someone's going to say, you do this, you do that. But I always just stand there at the side of the pond for ages going like that, and trying to tip it out and trying to get it all out. When I got enough of it out, I forget about it and carry on with life. Right. Woo! John! Where's the engine? There it is. I found it. Half of me's tempted to just get rid of this plastic rubbish. What even is it for? The new version ain't got it. And it's, you know, if it was in perfect condition, I'd keep it. But it ain't. It's far from it. It's sharp. And it cuts your hands to shreds. Get rid of that. Right. That's better. Ah, it's gone completely now. Yes. That's a lot better. Why didn't I do that before? Oh my giddy aunt. That's much better. Should have just done that before. The new boat, the brand spanking new one, ain't got that plastic thing. So it can't be that important. That's better. That's a lot better now. Oh, yes. Look at that. Look what we've got going on. Alright then. Engine goes back in. Like that. We can bolt it down. Oh yeah, I didn't show you the so the carburetor. Focus please, thank you very much. There's a little thing there with a screw in holding the carburetor down. Well, this one here at the top is broken off. Can you see that? So that means the whole carburetor is wobbly, wobbly, wobbly. So that's not good. On the new engine, which I've got, it has a different carburetor, and it's held on more similarly to what we are familiar with cars. So perfect, really. But we should still be able to get it to run with that carburetor like that. It's not going to run very good. It's not going to run very good at all, but it'll run. It will run. Forget which one goes on where. I think that one goes on there. It's not going to matter because we're not going in any water. But yeah, it's not going to matter at all because we're not going in the water. But that goes on there. That then goes on there. Right. Thank you very much for your help and assistance. Put that there. I'm looking forward to hearing this engine actually run. You know, with a nitro tank that's round the right way. Because if they're round the wrong way, they don't tend to work very well. I'm still holding my guns. I'm standing me ground. 5 people within the first week of the other video are going to comment that the nitro tank is around the wrong way, and rightly so. They should comment and tell me that. They should do, because it is around the wrong way. I never ever discourage people helping other people and people trying to help me. I just find it hilarious how I didn't spot it on the first, you know, at the time. It was only after I'd finished filming I looked at it and said, "That's round the wrong bloody way, you cock." And then I went and had a look at the other boat, and I was like, you know, sometimes you have to confirm things to yourself, don't you? Sometimes you have to look at stuff and go, I just got to go and double check that, just to make sure I'm not wrong. And I looked at the brand new boat that was brand spanking new in the box, so I know that one is round the right way, and it was sure enough. But it's obvious anyway, because you don't want the pressure pipe at the bottom, you want the pressure pipe at the top. John, that's the wrong size. Are you sure? Stop having a laugh. That's tight. That won't go on. That was reasonably tight. Thing is with these engine mounts, because they've got rubber on them, you never get them properly tight. That one was a bit loose. There we go. They're designed to flex a bit because you're going to get a bit of play in the engine. When you rev it, it wants to go a certain way. So them rubber mounts are designed to flex a bit, because otherwise it could crack the hull. You know, with the movement on the engine. So they put rubber mounts on to flex. Right. What's next? Yes, you're right. The Nitro tank. I didn't clean this up. I should have took this to the sink and given it a scrub a dub, because it's all sticky. Every single thing in this boat, in it, on it, outside of it, around it, 10 feet of it, is sticky. Now it's very obvious, to me at least, that it's probably just had a load of nitro spilt over it somehow. Probably when it was being used, or maybe when it was put in the shed, a bottle of nitro had fallen over and leaked on it. And you know, the nitromethane and any other silly ingredient they decide to put in it has evaporated and left the oil behind, because that's what happens. There we go. Kyosho 120cc. Let's put that there the right way round. I know. It's incredible. Putting it round the right way, John. Who is John? That goes on there like that. Oh, we need to put the exhaust on, don't we? You cock. You cock. Right, where's that engine degreaser? Thank you very much. Whoa. It's getting a bit windy out there. We've just come out of a drought here in England. We've not had any rain for a very long time. And everything was stopped. They even issued a hose pipe ban in the middle of November. You know, we've had, yeah, we've not had any water. Ponds have dried up, reservoirs have dried up. Well, they're not now. We've had rain now. I think they've even had a bit of snow up north. But October and the beginning of November, we was in a drought. Yeah. Or at least we were down south anyway. I don't know about anywhere else, but yeah. So that was interesting. Great fun. Just what the doctor ordered. Right. There we go. Absolutely perfect. Let's have a look to see if any of these gaskets are going to fit. They might do, because if they do, that would be amazing. But if they don't, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. And put them there like that. Oh, they're all different types. Can you see them? All different types of gasket. Bit of that there. Get rid of that. Right. Just what the doctor ordered. That goes on there. Oh, that's a gnat's cock too big, I think. But that's perfect. So we'll use that one. And we can just slide that in there. Put all them back in that little packet. There we go. Great. Where did they come from? I think it's Nitro. Put back in that one. Right, there we go. Un gasket. What way around did them bolts go? They went through there, didn't they? Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Exactly the same as all other engines. So why would they be different? I don't know. I just don't know. Just don't know. I mean, I wish I did know the secrets to some things, but I just don't. So we can put the gasket on the block. Just like that. Is that the one we want? That is the one we want, so we can just do that. And that. Well, we could do. I'm going to need to do that, really. Put in a comment, by the way. Have you come across any interesting cars? So I know some of you repair. You buy and sell RC cars and stuff, don't you? Have you come across any interesting ones? I mean, I have been looking on the internet, but it's a bloody minefield at the moment. I mean, prices are sky high. People want stupid prices, man, for things that just ain't worth the dollar at the time, you know. And you won't catch me spending anything pretty serious at the moment on anything like that. But if you come across any, man, let me know your stories. I love to know all about them. I find it absolutely fascinating. Right, here comes the nitroleum. We'll stick a bit of nitroleum in here. Yeah, that's what we were doing. Nitroleum goes in there. Whoops. This bottle had a mixture of all different types of nitroleum, all different brands. And do you know what we forgot to do? We forgot to unblock the carburetor. I think it's got a blockage in it, but that's alright, we'll keep going. It's pushing it through, that. Oh, it's pushing a bit of shit through as well, we don't want that. Whoa, did you see that? Zoom ridge in, zoom ridge in that pipe. In that pipe, got a bit of shit. Hold on. Watch that pipe. Watch that pipe there. Ready? Did you see it? There it is. That came through the tank. Come on, John. You've only got one job, and that's to operate the camera. That bit of black stuff come through the tank and it was in the pipe. Nearly had the worst blockage than I thought we had. That would have been very close. Here we go. Right, there we go. We've got roughly a quarter of a tank of nitro in there now, I'd say. And we should be primed. Yeah, we're primed alright. Probably a bit too much primage, maybe. Don't know. So what we'll do, we've got a battery for that. All the batteries have been eaten. So what I'll do, we'll heat her up with an electrical heat gun. Like that. Heat her up. And try and fire her up. There we go, a couple of seconds worth of heating. I'd say she's warm enough now. Let me just put this heat gun on this oil soaked kitchen paper, because that'll be perfect. There we go. I'll just leave that there like that. What do we need? Glow starter. Should still be primed. Where's the carburetor? Oh, that was wide open, so that would have been great. Okay. It's gonna be bloody awkward to try and control that. I might have to put the servo back in, because it's gonna be bloody awkward trying to control that. It's very I need it open a bit, but I don't want it open too much. Ah, I need to put a cloth there, don't I? You cock. There you go. Lovely, lovely. Here we go. Huh. Well, that was great. I wouldn't expect it to run very long with that carburetor like that, because it's probably sucking in far too much air, but that actually ran really well. Prop was spinning, as you would expect. Yeah. Obviously can't run it very long like that, because it is a marine engine, so it cools with water, and we haven't got any water flowing through it at the moment, have we? No, we haven't. Obviously car engines, nitro ones, are air cooled. That's why they've got the fins on the heads, so we can run them for as long as we like, and they're absolutely fine. But these ones, they rely on the water to cool them, so you can't really run them without actually driving. You can get, and I could go and get a bottle and feed some water in that bottom of that pipe there, and it would go through there, but it would come out this side, and obviously I'd have to either re-catch it and recirculate it, or just catch the water so it don't go in the thing and keep going. But right, we'd fire it up one more time, and then I'll show you the damage I found on the hull. I couldn't wait to fire it up. I wanted to fire it up, to be honest, so that's why I messed around with it. Right, let's see what we got now. Well, that's great. I really would say that that's, you know, that come out pretty well. I'd say that was a good engine. Right, so let's have a look to see what I've found. Now, I don't think half of these are even that bad, really. They're absolutely fine. So, might stick a little bit of after-run oil down there, seeing as this is an old engine. So, we've got a great big slit there, which I wouldn't say is a problem, because there's another one that goes all the way along there. Look, big slit on the seam. That's not a problem. It's not on a watertight place issue, you know what I mean? Where was the other one? Where was the other one, eh, John? No, I'm not showing you these because they're issues. I'm showing you these because we're all in this together. So this is what I found after I cleaned it up and got rid of quite a lot of the dirt. So is that one there, that one there, the one under the tank. Some here on the edges, but they're fine. I wouldn't say they're an issue of any description. The main one, which is a bit of a problem, well, it looks like it's been repaired before, but it's come back. See, there's one there, right there. I wouldn't say that's a big issue, to be honest, because I can't see that letting in much water. It's had a bit of glue or something gone over it in the past. I might just put a little bit more over it just for peace of mind, because the last thing I want is to be having to go and fish this from the bottom of the pond. I don't mind fishing it out from the pond, but I don't really fancy going to the bottom. Usually they don't sink all the way. They've got enough padding, they've got polystyrene in the lids, so as long as you've got R-clips on there that holds them in place, even if they go upside down, the lids will keep them afloat. So I've never had a boat, I'm probably going to jinx it now, fingers crossed, touch wood, I've never had a boat actually sink to the bottom of a pond. They've sunk a bit and sort of been bobbing around like that in the water, but I've never had one actually go to the bottom yet. So yeah, there's loads of cracking and splintering all around the edges, as I'm sure you can see all around here, but I wouldn't say that they're anything that I'm too bothered about for this particular boat. I would say it was perfectly fine, really. I'm just going to run a little bit of stuff. I did want to find some resin to put over that, but I haven't got any, so I'll probably just run a bit of glue or some sealer or something over the bottom of that. And yeah, probably might even run some along there just to seal them up at some point. I was fully intending on giving it a proper clean up in this video, but the way things have gone, I haven't been able to do that. I've had to keep going in and out, help the minion build his toilet out of cardboard boxes and doing other stuff, and I've run out of time now. So that's just the way the cookie crumbles. But one more thing that, oh my god, one more thing that we will do is we'll test these servos to see if these servos work, and then I'll just jam them back in there. One thing I haven't got, there should be a bit of clear plastic that goes over the top of this, and that's kept watertight with a load of waterproof union tape. Just run a couple of strips around the outside of it afterwards. Minion number one. Right, let's have a look, see what we got going on here then. So we've got a couple of servos, little servo tester. Minion number one wants me to help her make a website for her business. Selling stationery. Lovely. Right, one servo. Works. That's the one that has got the screws snapped off inside of it. But I reckon I could probably get that out. Maybe I better get it out with these pliers or a different pair of pliers, but I reckon I could probably grab onto that. and get that out somehow. Maybe with a pair of mold grips or something, or if I just get the little saw or something and I can cut a slit in the top of it, and I'm about to fit a flat-edged screwdriver on there and unscrew it. But that's for another day, I suppose. So that one works. That can go in there. Actually, I'll screw them back in because otherwise I'll only end up losing them. No, I won't screw them. I'll leave them like that. I can't be bothered with that. Can't be bothered with that. So that's that way there. And this one works. Oh, excuse me. Good. Are they Kyosho or Futaba? They look like Futaba, but they haven't got the thing on them. Don't know. And I don't really care. But anyway, so I've got working servos, so I haven't got to buy new servos. So the list of stuff that I need to buy to get this boat operational, I need well, I don't need a switch, but the switch is missing to turn on the servos, the receiver. Need a switch. And I've got 2 servos. I've got a battery, so that battery goes in there. Obviously I need a receiver and a transmitter. I've got a receiver and I've got a transmitter that I can put in it. And the trouble was I had trouble getting them to bind last time, but we'll work that out probably next year in a couple of months or whenever. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's really, I'll put that back in there. That's really that buttoned up then, isn't it? That goes in there. Like that. So what I need to do is and a carburetor. I've got a saucer carburetor for it. Or try and get that one to stay on properly, but I really don't think that's going to be very good. So yeah, there we go. Thought we'd just have a little play around with it. Like I say, I was hoping to give it a properly good clean up, but when I get if I get a lot of interruptions doing something, I kind of just lose all interest in it, and I think, oh, I'll do it another day. And it's just been one of those kind of things, really. But I'm really glad that I did clean it up. I'm not bothered about any of the cracks or damage or anything like that that happened to it. And we actually fired it up and got it to run reasonably well. I think I will rig up a little bit of a testing rig. What you can do, because what happens is, as you're going through the water gets forced up that little tube there. It's probably got a name, I don't know what it's called. Emulsion tube or something probably. And it goes up there and then it gets forced around the engine and comes out that little hole on the side. But people say that it doesn't, but it does. If you put it in like a big bucket of water or a bath or just a big thing of water where the boat is in there and it's hitting up against the side so it can't go nowhere, the water pressure from that propeller pushes, as obviously the water's being propelled out, isn't it? Because the boat's not going anywhere because it's hitting the side of the bucket or whatever you've got it in. It does force water up that tube. So you can have them running and going nowhere in a bucket. You get people say that it'll only go if the boat's moving. It probably gets optimal flow if the boat's moving. But it does still work if the boat's not moving. And I know this because it comes out the side. It wouldn't be coming out of that little thing if it wasn't working, would it? So yeah, I probably might do that at some point. Stick a load of water in a bucket and get it to run like that. Just going to put these screws in the holes so that I don't lose them. The reason I'm not going to bolt the servos in is because well, I need to get that stripped screw out of one of them, don't I? So I'll just wait and bolt them in on another day when I've had a little bit of research. I'm going to try and find a carburetor for it, because it's the carburetor that's actually snapped. I might be able, I don't really know to be fair, because that carburetor is quite unique in the way that it mounts. I was going to say I might be able to nick a carburetor off of an engine that I've got, but the trouble is the engines that I've got are all car engines. No, I don't think it matters the difference, but they're held on by that one little nut and bolt, you know, with a little pin, like most carburetors are. So that won't work for this one because it has to have that little bracket with the two screws. So yeah, I'll have a look on the internet, see what I can find, if I can find a carburetor. Knowing me, I'll probably end up buying a whole engine that I don't need, but I need a carburetor ready because that was a good engine. Yeah, I think that's been bloody good. I'll stick a receiver in it. I've got one anyway, I just need to work out why it won't bind. Stick a receiver in it. Really, I want 27 megs, really. But I haven't got any 27. Well, I lied. I've got loads of 27 megs up there. But most of them probably don't work, and I keep them just because I'm a bit of a cock. So I've got 2.4 gigahertz transmitter and receiver. It's a, I don't know where it's gone now. I've got an FG one and I've got a Kyosho one. I might try and put the Kyosho one on it. I don't know what I've done with it. I'll put it somewhere. Yeah, then that'll be that. Just need throttles. Don't need any brakes because we've got no brakes. Throttle steering. Yeah, and away we go. So that's going to be buttoned up like that for now, until further notice on the parts. All I really need is just that to do that, and that'll be well and truly that one going. There is some damage here. I mean, this will let water in. Look, I mean, it splashes over. It's going to end up letting water in. So I'm probably going to have to put some. It looks like it's already been repaired at some point. Somebody's put some stuff on it, and there as well. So I'm probably going to have to. I mean, that's not the end of the world, is it either? So I'm probably going to have to, you know, do something with it. But I want you to put in the comments. You lot let me know what you think. Should I repair this? And by repair, I don't mean what a lot of you think, as in repair it properly. I mean, should I just run a load of stuff at the bottom of that crack, get the carburetor, a new carburetor for it, or a second-hand one, so that it's actually got the two brackets, stick a receipt, and just be done with it, and just float it around on the water and enjoy it? Should I go and spend 70 quids, 70 squidaroos on a new hull? Because that would fix 99% of those problems. A new hull, I think it comes with the lid. I'm not sure. I'd have to have a look and investigate. Probably not. Should I go and spend 70 quid on a new hull, given that that engine is a good engine, but then I needed a carburetor anyway? I've got two good servos. Or should I just have that as a parts boat to keep this one going? This one's brand spanking new, never been ran. I could use that other one as a parts boat for this one. If something breaks, I've got the parts. I think I've already made my mind up what I am going to do. I don't know why I've got a load of... Now I think I've made my mind up what I am going to do. But I may be swayed by your opinions. So please do give me your opinions in the comments. What should I do? And I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching, you lot. All the best. And you want to see some cars and things? Plenty of cars coming up. Monster trucks, all sorts coming up in the next few weeks. So enjoy yourselves, stick around. You're welcome anytime. Cheerio.